Hello, in this session we are going to test the restore of a full system using a VM backup. So to do this, what we're going to do is to destroy the RAID array that we've built until so far. And then we're going to boot from the recovery media and restore this onto the system, and hopefully everything will go alright. It's a bit scary because it is my test system, I know, but I spent a few hours building this, and if it doesn't work, then it's gone forever. So I booted the computer in the RAID management system. So what I'm going to do right now is actually delete the whole RAID volume. So you see at the moment you get 2 disks in RAID-1 configuration, and everything is normal. So let's go ahead and delete the RAID array. Okay, delete. All data on the volume will be lost. Yes. So now we're going to accept. And the first thing we're going to do is to recreate the array before we can actually restore it. So at the moment the disk effectively the data on the disk have been destroyed, and we need to recreate a blank array. So yes. Okay, so we're going to create a new RAID volume. I'm going to give it the same name as before, var0. It's going to be a RAID-1, and RAID-1, and then with the total capacity, and create the volume. All data will be lost. Yes. Okay, now we're back to where we were, except that all the data is gone, and we need to restore this from the backup. So let's restart again, and we're going to boot from the USB Recovery Media. Yes. Okay, so we got the recovery media that is that we created from the Veeam ISO file. Okay, and we're going to actually use SSH because it's much easier. So now I'm going to SSH into the computer so we can start the restore procedure. So yes, and now there is a password that is provided at the console of the computer that I need to type. Okay, and this brings you to the recovery tool. So you need to accept this, continue, and then we need to select restore volumes. Now, before we get into this, let's have a look at the different drives. So we've got our RAID-1 volume, which is MD126, but it's blank at the moment. SDC1 is our thumb drive with the recovery tool, and SDD1 is our USB drive with the backup data. So this is what we want to restore from. Before we can restore from backup, we need to prepare the array because it's not initialized at all at the moment. So to do this, we need to run a tool called parted. and it's dev md126, which is our RAID-1 array, and it shows you here. So we need to initialize this by running the command mklabel. Well, it is a GPT disk at the moment because I've already done it, but you actually need to do it, otherwise you won't be able to restore the data. Yes, so now it's a GPT drive, and this is all you need to do. So now we go back into the tool, and normally it should appear, but if it doesn't, then we need to do something else. So mount local disk. Okay, nothing is showing up, which means that we need to do something to make it appear. So what I'm going to do is to escape from there, return to the shell, and then we're going to mount it manually. So we need to create a restore point, and this is a bug. I've checked on the Veeam website, and that's something that happens to a lot of people. So there's a bit of things involved in doing this, but it's okay. It works. So here I'm just creating a new mount point for our data. Oh, hang on, I'm just going to remove this message, it's a bit annoying. So this, okay. Okay, now this message will just go away. So I've created my mount point, and now what we want to do is manually mount our drive. So this is our SDD1, as you can see here, and it's going to be mounted in media backup. And now if I do this, and you see that SDD1 is in media backup, which is fine. But then we need to tell Veeam where the backup is. And the backup is in media backup, debian-nas-box, backup job 1, and you will see that it's our backup job1.vmb. That's the file that we want. So I'm just going to run this command, tells Veeam where the backup is. So the backup was successfully imported. And now I'm just going to check that it has been imported correctly, and yes, it is. Now that we've done this, we can actually return to Veeam, go to the restore volumes, and you see now you get this free section under the MD126 that we're going to fill from the partitions on the right hand side. So let's press enter, restore from first our EFI partition, and then we go to free again, restore from our mega big partition, which is our root and the boot partition, and then finally the swap partition. Okay, it's okay, we'll have to recreate the swap. It's not that important. There must be like a couple of megabytes missing. So we start the restore by pressing S, double check, start recovery. Okay, so this is finished. And now let's see how we can create a swap partition and then we can reboot. Oh, this looks good. Let's see if it boots. Okay, there was a problem with the swap partition, as I said, but it's still booting, so which is great. Okay. So now we're going to jump into Webmin and see how we can fix this problem. There is one chart missing here, which should be the virtual memory, and we're going to get this back. The first thing we need to do is to look into the RAID configuration. And we're going to see MD126. So we're going to mount the RAID as virtual memory. It's going to be mount at boot, mount, and it's going to point to MD126 P3, which is our swap partition. So that's good. And create. And you see that it's already there, saved and mounted. Yes. So now if I go back here and I refresh this, it should appear. Yes, perfect. And this is it really. We've got our virtual memory back, and our system is as it was before. So now you know how to restore your system using Veeam Backup. Thank you.